Welcome to part 3 in our little series about the invention of the Palestinian narrative. In this clip, I want to share with you why the narrative was created. Hi, I'm Cantor from Tiferet Yeshua congregation right here in Tel Aviv, Israel. At the end of this short video, I'm going to tell you how to get my free book. In truth, most Arabs living in Israel or the territories, not all, can trace their roots back to Egypt, Jordan, Syria, or some other Arab country. In fact, Yasser Arafat himself was an Egyptian, not a Palestinian. A former PLO member, now a Christian, has stated everyone he met in Palestine, quote, knew to trace the roots of their families to their country from which their great-grandfathers came. We knew full well that our origin was not Canaanite, despite that's what they tried to teach us. My grandfather would often remind us that our village, Beit Saul, near Bethlehem, was empty when his father arrived there with 6 other families. Today, there are over 30,000 residents in that village. Even in 1967, the idea of a Palestinian Arab nation was foreign to most who now call themselves Palestinian. Before the Six-Day War, they were called Jordanian. Sorko-Ram writes, "When I moved to Israel in 1967, after the Six-Day War, I had numerous conversations with Arabs living in both Israel proper and on the West Bank. I didn't even hear the term Palestinian from any Arabs at the time." One prominent PLO leader in the 1970s said, quote, "The Palestinian people does not exist. The creation of a Palestinian state is only a means for continuing our struggle against the state of Israel. In reality, today there is no difference between Jordanians, Palestinians, Syrians, and Lebanese. Only for political and tactical reasons do we speak today about the existence of a Palestinian people, since Arab national interests demand that we posit the existence of a distinct Palestinian people to oppose Zionism." Writer David Meir Levy claims Arafat himself said the same thing on many occasions. In his authorized biography, he is quoted as saying, "The Palestinian people have no national identity. I, Yasser Arafat, man of destiny, will give them that identity through conflict with Israel." In 1964, Arafat gets some advice from a Vietnam general that would take years to implement. He sent a top aide to Vietnam to study their methods. How had they, a brutal communist regime, won the sympathy of left-wing Europeans and college students in America? It was simple, quote, "Stop talking about annihilating Israel and instead turn your terror war into a struggle for human rights. Then you will have the American people eating out of your hand." No longer was he going to be seen as a murdering terrorist, but a freedom fighter fighting against Israel's illegal occupation for the invented Palestinian nation. Mohammed Yazid, the former information minister from Algeria, reinforced this notion. After the Israeli victory in the Six-Day War, he told Arafat, quote, "Wipe out the argument that Israel is a small state whose existence is threatened by the Arab states, or the reduction of the Palestinian problem to a question of refugees. Instead, present the Palestinian struggle as a struggle for liberation. Wipe out the impression that in the struggle between the Palestinians and the Zionist is the underdog. Now it is the Arab which is oppressed and victimized in his existence because he is not only facing the Zionists but also world imperialism." According to Meir Levy, the KGB discipled Arafat and made sure he followed the plan. Arafat resisted this idea in the beginning. He just wanted to destroy Israel. But over time, he bought in. Yes, that bit of advice got him into the Rose Garden at the White House. Okay, let's summarize. Before Arafat, there was no national Palestinian identity. In fact, many Arabs saw the word Palestine as something from the maps of the English Bibles. The overwhelming majority of Arabs living in Israel today immigrated within the last 100 years. They have no long history in the region. Arafat created the Palestinian national identity for the purpose of presenting Israel as an oppressor and to promote his war against Israel, not for the West Bank or Gaza, but to conquer all of Israel. And it has worked. Just go to any college campus in the U.S. and you are bound to see some form of protest against Israel. Calls for boycott. It's hard to believe, but Arafat, a man who died with a personal net worth of $1 billion, sold the world that he was a poor, oppressed freedom fighter. I hope this video has been a blessing to you. To get my free ebook, The 15 Most Important Facts About the Israeli-Palestinian Conflict, just go to roncan.net/15facts and make sure that the F is capitalized. This video has been brought to you by our congregation Tiferet Yeshua. For more information, please go to reachtelaviv.org. And while you're there, consider making a donation so that we can continue to share the good news of Yeshua here in Israel and bring you more of these weekly teachings. Now, don't forget to subscribe. Shalom from Tel Aviv.